Hello my friends, Dave Schramm here of SchrammGuitars.com, and today I'm going to address one of the requests or comments that someone had in an earlier video on how I make some of my rosette purfling, and more specifically what I call the chain ring on my rosettes. So the chain ring, I'll put some pictures in this video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, is made up of, at least the one that I do, is made up of a strip of padauk, maple, and padauk again for the long part of the chain. These are 20 thousandths thickness. And then the vertical part is made up again 20 thousandths thick padauk, maple, and then a 50 thousandths thick piece of ebony made from a fingerboard. I just cut it and then mill it on my Gilbert thickness sander on my drill press. Another 20 thousandths maple, 20 thousandths piece of padauk. So I'm going to glue this up first. Now the padauk, you could probably buy the veneer, but I make my own veneer. And I made these veneers off of this turning log. These are usually made for like pool cues. It's about 1.25 inches square by about 18-20 inches in length. So I cut this on the bandsaw, and then I use the thickness sander. And these are quarter sawn, so the grain goes this way. I don't want it going this way because then they'll end up doing some weird cupping and stuff that I don't like. Plus I like the edge grain of this. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this up kind of like what you've seen me do with my purflings before. So I'm gonna start with the vertical part of the chain, or the ends of the chains, and then the little black part that's in between there. So I've got these all in order here on my my glue blocks here. I'm going to be using some Titebond original glue, this Speedball Brayer roller for putting the glue on, and then my StewMac tape deck here to tape these down, and then some clamps. Alright, so neighbor's car. So I'm going to start by first, let's see, the padauk one goes first. So I tape this down about 1/4 inch from the edge so I have as much veneer as possible. This is so that when I clamp these, the veneers don't go all over the place. Alright, ready to glue these up. After I make this sandwich, it is going to be, the width will be a little bit less, just to true everything up, and everything changes because of the glue anyway. There's my next layer. Tape it up. ebony. Now the ebony was a little bit shorter. That's just because of the blank that I cut it off of. Go. And the ebony part is thickness to 50 thousandths. And then my last layer of Padauk. As I mentioned, you could probably buy Padauk veneer, but I like to make my own. Or you could use whatever color you want. Love to see what you do, what you come up with your color scheme of making your rosette ring chain. You could use this for the chain for back purfling too. Center purfling. Let's see. This is my last one that I'm taping up here, and then I'm going to clamp it. Now my clamping sticks here have packing tape on them so the glue doesn't stick. There we go. I'm going to use these. I love these clamps. TOLESA, T-O-L-E-S-A. Really nice, strong clamps. I'll put a link in the description. I just use those to hold everything down as I get my 4-inch clamps here. Put them like every 3 to 4 inches. Then once these are all glued up and dried and I take them out, these are going to be cut into real small strips. Well, you'll see the process. Try to give it a good, even clamping pressure. That's right. That's right. Okay, looks like we are good to go. All right, there's this step. So at this stage, I've made all my sandwiches here, and now I'm just truing up one edge on each one of these. And then I'm just doing one edge because I'm gonna cut the other part on my miniature table saw so they're all uniform in width. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm creating a large part of the chain, cutting these pieces off. They're quarter inch in width off of this one, which is just the Padauk, maple, and Padauk piece. So I run that through my Preac Model Maker's miniature table saw. I'll put it on this sled here and I'll make the cut. Now I've already made in my little rosette tile trough here, I've already cut up 2 of these big sticks, and that's about how many I got. I didn't count them, I just know it's a lot, and that's what I want. So I'm gonna cut these now. Now this next part, what we have to do is set the table saw blade to the width of one of the chains, one of the chain links here. And then I've already done that, so it took quite a while to cut all of these off of this big cutoff here, or log. So that's the next step for this piece here, which goes right there in the chain. All right, so what I'm going to be doing now for this step is I'm going to be gluing the chain, and I call this part here the black, the link. The chain and the link, I'm going to be gluing them about 4 of the chains and 3 of the links at a time. So I'll start out with this scrap piece, the same thickness as the chains and links, on this excuse me, on this veneer here. I have it taped down at one end. This end's going to get clamped. So I'm going to glue this down. This is just a spare end. I call this the handle. Then I'm going to run some glue for about 1 inch, and then I'm going to put these on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these plexiglass cowls, and I'm going to clamp these down as I go each inch section. Then I'm just going to kind of inchworm this along, up and down the whole thing until I get to the end, which is about I think it's 24 inches in total length here. Usually around 17 inches is plenty to do rosette rings. All right, so you're going to see that in kind of a fast motion video. Okay, so I've got everything clamped up and glued in. So let's take a look at those. Here's a top view with my plexiglass or polycarbonate cowls there. And let's get down over here. So there you can start to see what the chains will look like. Okay, so we'll let this cure and then we'll add the top veneer. Okay, so I removed the chain and link veneer from the glue up, and I've taped it onto this board here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this 20 thousandths thick maple veneer on top of here. You may have seen some of my previous videos. It's the exact same idea. Okay. And what I did is I actually took a sanding block and I knocked off any high edges or extra glue, squeeze that dried glue that was on here. Alright, so now I'm going to take some original Titebond. It's important you use the original, not the others, because this, when you heat it up and you bend the Purfling strips, this releases better. So I like to use original Titebond. Get my roller. Veneer on here. I tape it so it doesn't scoot around on me with a clamping pressure. Go. My other block here. Oops, I have these set for my other glue up. I like to alternate the directions. Now it holds the block up steadily. And we are all done with our glue up. So next step you'll see is when this is all dried, next one we'll rip the Purfling strips off this and we'll be ready to make some rosettes. I've removed the Purfling log from the glue up, and let's take a close-up here. So you can see the chains there, chains and the links. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into strips. Okay, I'm now going to use my Preac model maker's table saw. Unfortunately, these are no longer made. I've been using one for about 20 years. I love it. Okay, here we go. So I now have my batch of chain purfling that I use for my rosettes, and there you go. So here's my batch of chain purflings. I was able to get 12 strips off that one log. So that's enough for 6 rosettes. Pretty awesome. Now I'm going to go make a few more batches. Hey, thanks for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any other videos you'd like to see, put it in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a video just for you. Alright, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.